I want to share with you about Esther Perel's topic of love. She says it's our imagination that's responsible for love, not the other person. Our main obstacle is for the men is like our main obstacles that as a society we face that men have is the predatory fear that she doesn't like it, she doesn't want it, and a fear of inadequacy, a fear of rejection. And the secret of the female sexuality is that nothing turns us on more than turning him on. So it's like being able to be massively narcissistic instead of worrying about other people's well-being and needs being met. 2, in self-liking and self-accepting state, feeling sexy rather than self-critical. And 3, connected to what I do like rather than facing what I don't like. So these are the main obstacles for women and men. And in sexuality, we can feel fully free when we shed our social role, which is like the protector, the provider, the caretaker. And then I want to share like some personal stuff that is about codependency and narcissism possibilities of where I took this male-female like dynamic into my life. I saw there was an angle that my father was the weak and manipulated one, like a puppet of my mother, and that she projected onto me that I needed medication, that I was holding weapons like knives, like basically she taught me these aspects of her, injecting them in my head to make me look out of control and forceful. And my father was in some ways actually gentle and forced not to be loving toward me. And my mother turned my family against me, I remembered, in like a smear campaign. And she continues to invalidate and gaslight and dismiss and uses tactics like guilting, shaming, deflecting, projecting, silent treatment. I want to remind you, I wrote this like 5 years ago. My mother has made tremendous steps in her healing. And at the time, I knew this was not all of her. This was me healing the versions of her that I couldn't see. These versions of her are just pieces of a human. But clearly they weren't working it out together as my parents in their relationships. It was coming out to the children. So she wanted me to lose my sense of identity where she could put her negativity on me and always focusing on revenge and punishment. And anyone who usurps her control, makes her feel how powerless and out of control we are, was dehumanized. And she craved the reactions of others with triangulation was one of the ways how she got it. And I'm speaking also of my grandmother and my grandfather, obviously. Like we all are affected by these kind of things. Even if it meant, I was saying she craved the reactions of others, triangulation was one of them, the way she got it, even if it meant exploiting someone else's sensitivity. She called people on us, like for me it was like doctors, principal, police, shmiras, the Jewish police. She set my father up to fail. He put his value and worth in her hands, and he was constantly walking on eggshells, never felt safe. There's a version of him. I'm not saying he was such a innocent, agreeable man by any means. I'm not saying that, okay? But I'm saying there was a version of him, always walking on eggshells, never felt safe. She used and weaponized him against me, and she violated the mother-daughter bond, even though recently when she wanted me to serve her with a massage, when I wrote this, I was doing body work, and she wanted me to serve her. I wrote she used flattering and charm to get me to open up to her and lower my guard, and she never considered or considers me in the context of having my own needs and boundaries and feelings and limits as an identity, but rather she saw me as like fuel or an appliance. And I'm going to stop here. It's going to be Sabbath soon, but these are very potent pieces. And so I wish you a Shabbat, if you are Jewish, of unconditional love with no strings attached. And for all of us, and even if you're not Jewish, to be able to receive this abundance where really it's all about non-judgmental awareness and to feel the royalty wanting to come through us, each Jew, like as a temple, but even if not, that we should all feel, everyone, like the holiness, the family feeling, the safety, the yichidus, which means the oneness. Amen.